messages? Okay, so I had to cancel the old one and restart the new one. So that means everybody's like in the twilight zone.
Migrating.
I think it was just Nikki waiting for us anyways. Um, but I'm gonna look down because I'm ignoring you.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna
And
make sure that everything's doing it correctly. Content, lives. Um, delete forever. Delete forever. Okay, and then I'm just gonna change the thumbnail, I think, if it lets me. Did I kick you out? Hey, Crystal. Okay, there, you're back. You're back. Hi,
I'm doing
Crystal.
doing everything on the phone, so I don't know how this will go, but hopefully well.
It's fine. How are you doing today, Crystal? I love your beautiful blue badge. That makes me super happy. And who else is in here? We have two others. It was really hard trying to get this stream to start. It was weird pulling you
Yeah.
in. Hi, Dana from Canada. Where in Canada, though? You have to be like
Hello,
super
hello.
specific. It's a huge country. Is that too loud? The clinking? I needed my coffee.
That's okay. You gotta stay caffeinated.
You brought the popcorn.
Ontario.
Ontario, yay! Meg's from Ontario and she is fleeing you guys and she's going to head west. Not different Meg, my love.
I was like, oh,
Sorry, Canada Meg. And then your Megan, Millennial Meg. So, um,
I'm just in the boring Midwest of the USA.
I love that though. I love the Midwest. It's absolutely my favorite. I love it so much. I miss it so deeply all of the time.
Yeah.
So, mostly when it's humid here.
It's
So,
been a little humid here, but so far today is beautiful. 72, sunny, gorgeous.
and you don't have as many bug bites as you said you were going to have. So, I was like
Well,
really
I
hoping
don't
for
know.
terrible bug bites. Hi, Helen. How are you, babe? In Gwynn,
Hello.
Texas. Is that what? That's not even like a. Where are you near, Helen? Like, give me a. I don't know, an anchor to figure out where you are so I can comment on your weather. Like a millennial. We're old now. I'm obsessed with the weather. What happened?
This will just be an hour of hot weather talk. It'll be great.
All I think about, like every day I wake up and I'm like, let's look at the weather. Let's see what other people's weather's like. I want to talk to other people about their weather. Hey, Lamar, how are you? So,
You're
really
so good
excited
at
to see
this. You
you,
say
baby.
hi to everybody. I've
Um,
never done this.
Hi,
Thank you for
Katie Vlogs.
having me on my very first live.
I am so excited because then I didn't have to like edit a video. And now I have you, and it's not just me being awkward and waiting for people to ask me something so I can be like, do we have anything to talk about, guys? Hi, KE Vlogs. Dana says hot and humid here too. 32 degrees Celsius, which I think is 88. I think that's
Ooh,
hotter. I think
that's
32 is
hot.
hotter. Patrick and Sharon coming from Kenya. I'm guessing it's Sharon, but maybe it's Patrick. Hey, so happy to see you guys the excitement for the weather. Carousel, it's just so hard not being old at this point. Like, I woke up and I talked about my hips to my husband and then checked the weather. Like, and then I'm like, ooh, I wonder if news is happening. I'd love to see something about news. Like, I'm old. Is near Austin, Texas? Okay, so that's I have a lot of family in Austin. Hi, Tratty. Hey Varu, how are you?
Oh,
And and
got a
okay,
nice group.
it is a nice group. Hi, you guys. I'm so excited to see you. And I'm really happy. Can I introduce and drop the link for her channel? Crystal, hold on.
Maybe.
Mm, okay, so Crystal, as a standard moderator, why don't you drop the link for me? Oh my god, because clearly Nikki's not here. So hold on. I have to figure out how to uh, 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 remove. Okay. And then, Mr. Rooster, you're not my biggest subscriber, but I'm happy to say your name, my dear. And hold on one second. I want to fix something. Thanks, Marco. I didn't change the things I
Thank you.
needed to change. Um,
Oh, my YouTube name is Millennial Meg.
yes, Millennial Meg. And then I would have to pull over the.
And good luck spelling millennial. I myself had a hard time.
So I misspelt it in the first one, and then in the second one, when I was changing it to Feral Millennials, I realized there were two N's, and that was crazy. Hey, Sven from Croatia, that's pretty cool. Um, I need to fix something.
Hello, hello.
So
You guys are all so nice. Thank you. Thank you, girl that reposts videos.
I do love
That's a
that.
fun name.
Um, so just one second, you guys. We had to restart the stream because I didn't do it exactly correctly. And so I am just trying to fix a few things in here.
I'm glad you're the one running this because I would have no clue. So you're doing better than I would.
Okay, there, that's what I meant to do. Sorry, you guys. Thank you for subbing, Bro
Oh,
Classic. I really appreciate it. It's um, so
oh,
thank you,
thank you,
Crystal. You're
Crystal.
so kind. I'm
Thank you.
super excited. So I promoted Crystal. She is my member. She's one of my members, but I do look forward to demoting her as soon as this is over because I just don't want Crystal to get too full of herself. And she might. You don't even know. Okay, so I did catch a comment for a second. Everything went way too fast, so I didn't really know how to make that better. And I did see a comment that I wanted to grab and say, um, Dana says, "Are you willing to share what you and your husband did in the military?" I'm super excited to share that with you. And we'll do that really quick. And then we will switch over to talking about why Meg and I decided to start doing this. And I can't decide. I asked you yesterday, do you want to be Megan or Meg? And I've just switched it straight to Meg.
Either way, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm the only one here. I'll answer.
Well, what if my Canada Meg comes in? Okay, so if I switch to being really mean and saying Meg, it's directed towards Canada.
Okay.
Okay, so I was a Chinese linguist in the military, and that's how my husband and I worked in the same building, but not at all in the same realm of things. We just kind of came into each other's sphere because my best friend was dating his best friend at the time, and then I was like, maybe. And so I tricked him into dating me, but my husband did something with like communication wires. I didn't pay that much attention. It was it was like boring. I don't know what he did. I think he was comms. He did comms, but like the physical installing and networking of the cables. And that's
Mm.
he looked really cute in his outfit. That's what I know. And he was in the Navy. So and he had to like wear the coveralls that nobody ever wears. And he was just so my job was clearly more interesting and better. But
A Chinese linguist. That is impressive. I had
thank
no
you.
idea.
I'm I'm good at picking up languages. It's like one of my skill sets, and like holding train of thought is not one of my skill sets. So it's like a little trade off, I think. So okay, what I think we should talk about is why do you clean your house on video? Like why do you organize? What pulled you into this journey to start with? First, okay, chokes. Ignore that comment. Who are you? What is your name and what do you do?
Hello, hello. I am Megan. I go by Millennial Meg on YouTube because I don't know, I'm a millennial. My name's Megan. Sounded good at the time and now I'm stuck with it. And I don't know, I turned 40 last year and I just kind of I felt like I was losing myself. I have a 2-year-old. I spent a lot of time just with her and focusing on raising her. And yeah, I just really wanted something for myself, and I watched a ton of YouTube. I know I'm already getting into the why YouTube and why cleaning on my house, cleaning on, you know, a national,
No, I
international
love
platform.
that. Yes.
But yeah, I just needed something for myself. I needed I don't know, a kick in the pants to be held accountable, to tidy up and to get my life together. And I thought, I watch people on YouTube. I could be creative and make things on YouTube instead
Yes.
of just watching. Why not? Everybody else does it. And yeah, it's been great. I've been doing it since the very, very end of December of last year. And so far, so good. I've
Yeah.
been cleaning my house, decluttering my house, um, failing at 30-day challenges. I know you
Why
know
did you
something
bring that
about
up? My God, I felt like that was a direct attack. What
well,
was shots
I
fired?
only bring it up because I myself have a like an embarrassing video that I made a few months
Right.
ago and it never saw the light of day.
Oh, I kicked my thing. I tried to get cozy and I kicked my thing, but it's fine. You guys are
Uh-oh.
fine. Everybody's fine, right? Okay. Um,
Yeah. So,
so
but
like
yeah,
the urge to be like, this will hold me accountable. I'll say
yes.
it out loud and I'll put it out for everybody. And
Yeah.
then like it collapses like so many challenges before. It collapses out from underneath you, and you're just like so embarrassed. And it's
Yeah.
humiliating to come back and be like, okay, that didn't work. Let's try a new thing. And it's so I started, thank you so much. And also,
Oh, thanks,
Metalhead
guys.
Mama, I am so glad you were able to come
Welcome.
in. I'm glad we bumped it a little bit late. This is my friend from England that I said if we
Oh,
do it at 3, maybe she'll be able to catch us. And so I'm so
glad
happy.
you're here.
Um, one of the problems I have, and I feel like you've mentioned it in some of your videos before, is one of the problems I have is the constant showing of failure.
Yeah.
The I failed again. Please
Mhm.
forgive me, but I'm still trying. Like it's a very public failure. How do you
Mhm.
handle that? And do you feel this way? I feel like you feel this way.
I do. I definitely, I've cried. If you want to see ugly crying, I have a couple videos that are for you if you enjoy that. But yeah, I definitely have felt the failure, right? And I think that's the beautiful thing about YouTube, though, is that it's for me. I like to find people who are relatable, right? I
Yes.
think that's why like you were appealing to me to begin with because we're all screwing up. Nobody knows
Yeah.
what the heck we're doing. I feel like our generation of women kind of, you know, we didn't want to be like trad wives, right? Like we're
Yes.
coming away from that. But now, I don't know about you, I find myself in this role all of a sudden. Like I've had a career, I'm 40, and now I have a toddler, and I'm trying to figure out how to be a mom and a wife and take care of a house at this age. And it
Yes.
feels really I feel stupid, honestly.
Right. Yes.
You
No, I
know, and
totally
so it's
understand
like,
that.
let's just all be honest. Let's just show ourselves, and
Right.
we're all screwing up together, and it'll be a party.
I love that. And I genuinely feel like I started my
Oh,
tread
hi,
writing.
Jerry.
I know. Hi, Jerry. I'm super excited to see you, babe. I'm pretty sure I found Jerry in Meg's channel,
Hmm.
or I'm pretty sure that's how it happens. But now she's in my feed, so I love that. Failure will eventually lead to success. I
Yes.
love that. Or another thing is like the failures of it all pulls me. It shows me the other option that I didn't know I had before that I actually preferred to take, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. Like I was very career oriented. I was going to be um, a career army. I was going to do that and then transfer over to probably government intelligence. It's a really easy slide
Hmm.
over. At 18, I had a top secret clearance from the government. Like I was going, and I was doing great things. But I always felt the pull of motherhood deep
Hmm.
inside, and that was a big reason why I chose to leave the military because I knew, I think I said this last time, but with my specific training that I did to go overseas to do forensic analysis on IEDs, with that specific job training that cost our government so much money, so I apologize for that epic waste of taxes that I am. Um, I knew that my baby only had to be 4 months old to redeploy, and I knew I would
Hmm.
redeploy every chance that they had. And, I was I had to choose re-enlist or get out. Like I was at that crossroads. I was 24 and I had met probably my soulmate, even though I didn't think long
Mhm.
term really lasted. I just didn't really feel that, but I always felt like we would be together. I don't know. It was hard to say,
Mhm.
but I had to choose. I had to choose
Right.
at that moment. If I've never seen something so clear in my life where they're like literally two different paths and you cannot choose a mix. And so that's the way I went. Um, and then I lost my train of thought. I hate this
That's
game.
okay. Oh,
I'm so
my
over it.
alright,
Hi,
everyone
Amari.
be
How are you? Amari, I hope I said that correctly, like with the right little zhuzh around the name Amari. Could be
that's
Amory, but that's weird.
it's
Um,
Amari. That's my boy. He's giggling in the other room.
oh, that's so cute. um, do you think that having your solid career, so why don't you tell everybody what your career is?
Oh, sure. So I am a believe it or not, someone thought I would be appropriate to be a licensed professional. I'm a licensed counselor. And so I've been doing that for the last, I don't know, 14 years or so. Um, so I got a bachelor's in psychology and then I got a very important degree in dance movement therapy as my
Yes, so
master's degree.
so important,
Very marketable, very, transferable skills.
right?
But fortunately, the program also allowed me to become licensed as just a regular counselor. So I don't have to make people dance in
I
my
love
job.
that. I would make people dance like it would be vicious. It would not be kind or therapeutic, but I would make people dance.
I mean, I do see the value in it, but again, it's like a hard sell, right? Like it's a hard
Yeah,
thing to market, like,
it
hey,
really
come be
is.
vulnerable and dance with me. And it's like,
Yeah, I
I
would
think I'm gonna
absolutely
go over here.
I would shut down so dang fast.
Yeah.
But you're starting a
Yes.
business.
Yeah. So I've worked in all kinds of places. I've worked in psychiatric hospitals. I've worked
You cut out, stop talking. Meg, stop talking. No. Mm-mm. Nothing's coming through. None of your volume's coming through, my love. Can you still hear me? Did the stream drop out? Oh, you're back.
it.
Okay.
I'm back. Sorry,
Hi.
Siri
Hi,
was
Lucas. How
listening to
are
me.
you? Okay, so none of that came through. You started a business, start over from there.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Okay, so I have worked in mental health a lot. I've worked in psych hospitals. I've worked with children and adolescents. I've worked most of my career with older adults in nursing homes. And then the last 3 years before I had my baby, I worked in a hospital doing social work in the hospital, and I loved it, but it just wasn't compatible with being home with my daughter.
Right.
And I do have an older stepson as well. And so yeah, so now my it's been 2 years since I had the baby, and now my friends and I are starting a private counseling practice, which is terrifying
Right.
and exciting.
And so brave.
Yeah,
And I'm really proud of you. Your
yeah,
son,
it's
your
wild.
Amari is 13,
He's all and son, yes. He is almost 13.
almost
He's
13. Okay.
12 right now.
Our kids match except for the baby one. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah,
Um, that's hard.
yeah.
Although I totally want more babies. I just don't want any more 2-year olds or 3-year olds.
It's a lot.
But I also was worried. Okay, huge tangent. I was always so worried about like the age of 8 that I'd like not like them as much. Like I really
Oh,
love babies, and I was so concerned that like 8, 10, I would be like, not as
we're done here.
not so pass. But thank you. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm so grateful that I still deeply love my kids. That's really good.
yes.
But like I always had this deep down fear that like that's not really an age I love. And what if I don't love my kids at that age?
There are definitely more, yeah, some of the ages are more challenging. How old is your oldest, or are
They're
your oldest?
13. They are
13, yeah.
13.
Yes.
So, and very much, and so of course, hi Helen, how are you, babe? Um,
Hi.
So the 13-year-olds of mine, they are autistic and very, very black and white. And so now we are hitting milestones that they have determined are attached to their ages, such as
Hmm.
doing whatever I want
Oh,
and
okay. Yes.
do I get a boyfriend? And so now we're like working on social skills and like where would you find a boyfriend? Like I was like,
Right.
okay, let's join sports. And she's like, oh,
Right.
ugh, no thanks. I was like, okay, how about a club? She's like, I don't feel like doing that either. I was like, what?
Then no
Like,
boyfriend.
where are we going to find this guy? And she's like, you'll find him. Like, I'm supposed to go find one and then be like, here, I found, here you go. Stuff. It's just,
She wants a
it's
matchmaker. I love
really
it.
funny. She's just like, well, I'm 13. Isn't that correct? I was like, no. But also, she's really looking forward to moving out to where she can
Hmm.
set her own screen time limits. And that's
Ah,
very necessary for her. And I was like, okay, well, if you can come up with rent, baby, you can move out.
do whatever
At
you. I know.
13, there are no policies around that. So, okay, so we kind of got off on a tangent, but we were talking about like why you started YouTube and then you started okay, so hold on. Dana said, have fun, been there and had a rough go for a few years. Mine is 21 now and things are getting better. 5 through 20 was the worst. I have a son.
5 through 20.
That is the gamut. That's all of
That
it.
is a little bit of a
That's all
stretch.
of it. I have to say that it's at least I like that the challenges vary as they get older. At least it's not like
Yes.
one slog for 18 years or more. Oh, she said, okay,
Oh,
sorry,
50.
15. That's so much more. That's better. That's way better. Um,
Yeah. I can see that being hard. I'm like right now we're in I know with your girls it might be slightly different, but I know with Amari, just trying to find that balance between giving them the independence, right?
right.
And then also keeping them safe. Like I am not comfortable with Snapchat yet, but he really thinks it's important.
Hi, Ashley. Right. And it's just so
So,
hard because we know what we know and you can't like transfer it. You're like, listen,
right.
here's the reality
Right.
of, it's just um
Right. It's because I love you.
it's because I love you and this restriction is better for everybody, trust me, kind of thing. Um
Yeah.
and then like I'm butting up with my husband a little bit where I am I guess overprotecting and I'm like, well, I don't
Mm,
love how my son and his best friend are like talking behind our backs. Like,
mhm.
and like my husband's like, but they need an outlet to vent about their parents and they're not being
Right.
horrible. Like they're just venting and being kids. And I was like,
Right.
that's true. I didn't think of that. And he's 11 now. And so that
Mhm.
little independence there where they're like texting each other, where I was like, I don't love that, but I guess it wasn't terrible. And you should be able to complain about your parents to your best friends. And so, uh,
Right. Oh, it's so hard.
letting go is very hard. So, and then also my twins are allowed to cuss now, and the the situational timing of swearing is something we're trying to lock down. But like it's black or white, they either are allowed or they
Right.
aren't allowed, and we lost that. So, Jerry says no Snapchat
Gosh.
at our house or TikTok, and I'm okay with being the bad guy. Um,
Right.
we
Yeah.
we restrict a lot of our apps, and a lot of I don't like the TikTok, but I allow YouTube, and YouTube
The TikTok.
is TikTok. Like YouTube Shorts is
Right.
TikTok repurposed, and so
That yes!
it's the
That's what happened to me.
yeah,
That's what happened to me. I said, "Absolutely no TikTok," and then I'm like, "Okay, well, you can have YouTube," and then all of a sudden, all he's doing is watching the shorts. I'm like, "Well,
right. It's the exact and it is TikTok, and I'm like, no, it's
it's the
because
same."
it's the jarringness and the shortened time. It's shortening their attention span, so there are reasons
Right.
behind it. And then I'm like, ah, frick. I like that feels like a battle I've lost.
Yeah.
Ashley says, as an only child, I'm so excited my kids can talk about me. It makes me proud that they can gossip about me. And they've been texting me too. We're gossiping behind your back, Ashley, every day. We're like, I love that too. And um, I love that my kids they have a siblings chat. And
Uh-oh.
because I was sick of them sending memes in the family chats, and they
Mm,
only have iPads, they don't have phones yet. And so I was like, "Here," and I set up their sibling chat, and the other day I was just doing a little phone check, and their sibling chat is just adorable nonsense, but also them being like, "Come play with me. Oh, come hang out. Oh, I saw this, and it made me think of
Oh.
you," and it made me super happy. And Ashley said, "I know I vent about my mom too, so it's a good thing." You know what? I vented with my brother all the time, like, and we still do as an adults. The other day I called him because I was feeling really confused about my
Mm.
childhood. I just felt like I wasn't remembering it correctly. So, my parents got divorced when we were in, like, 1st grade, and it was, like,
Okay.
super it's awful. Still awful, and it's been, like, 40 years, right? Um, and so, like, it was just really and so I texted my brother, I'm like, "Am I remembering our childhood wrong, or was it, like, really stressful?" Didn't the parents don't remember how much they hated each other and how much it, like, ingrained into
Affected
everything
you.
all of the time,
Yeah.
and, this is why I'm cursed with twins. I remember saying when I was, like, 20 that I hoped I had identical twins, and then I would never tell either of them, and then they could be so excited because they were the grandparent that got to see the kids all the time, and I would just send them off, and that's how we ended up with twins. But, like, I told
That's actually a diabolical
my
plan. I love it.
just so that they could feel so good at getting it one off on the other, you know? And like I asked my brother, I was like, "Am I remembering it wrong?" Because both mom and dad seem confused. And he's like, "No, it was like a hostage negotiation. Like, it was terrible all the time." And I was like, "I love that I have you to, like, remind me that
Right,
I'm
to
not
check.
crazy and that it was really stressful and dumb because the parents have forgotten by now." Ashley says, "I feel like
Oh,
she's social worker, so good luck at having a private practice best friend." Aw, that comes out so sarcastic, but I bet you meant it, Ashley. It's because I'm reading it with my super sarcastic voice. It's like, good luck being best friend and retaining a license. It's only because I'm
I appreciate it.
slowly
Thank
poisoning
you.
my husband to death. Okay, let's pivot back. So, what kind of made you choose like a vulnerability route of YouTube as opposed to doing like a straight commentary, like here are the facts, but instead welcoming us into
Right.
your life and your personal struggles?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. It was probably just easier, honestly. Like, it was just the easiest path for me. When I think about, because I watch all the videos about how to be a good YouTuber and how to blah blah blah, how to write a script, how to
Mhm.
get a million views, whatever. I don't have a million views, FYI, in case that's what you're hoping for on my channel. Not yet. But I'm not really like a script writer, right?
Mhm.
I don't really want to sit down and write a whole script and have a hook and have a this and have a that. It just felt a lot more authentic and sort of straightforward to just show up, talk. The style I typically do on my channel as of right now is just literally like I take you along with me as I clean whatever, or as I try to figure out what the heck to do with my kitchen cabinets because they're overflowing and things fall out when I open them.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's kind of it almost I guess it just also feels kind of like having somebody to chat with, like a friend to talk to when I'm
Yeah.
not sure what to do.
Very,
I mean, I'm the only one answering, but that's okay.
very much so. Yes, I have moved into where when I'm doing my videos, I genuinely feel like it is my friends behind there because I have
Yes.
some people and I if I don't post, they don't comment and I don't get to check in with them. I'm like, if I don't
Right.
see them, I'm like, dang it, how have you been? What are you doing? Like, I hope that your
Right.
knee surgery went better, or, have
Yeah.
fun packing and moving. Did your house sell yet? Nikki, why are you
Right.
still here? Like all those comments that you want to put out there. Um, and like also I privately text Nikki to ask her why she's still here too. Like I get it in a lot of different ways. Um, Crystal wants to know how long Meg has had your channel.
Yep. So I started it at like very end of December 2023. So it's been what, almost 7 months or so. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I'm pushing through.
Nikki's still here. Um,
And how long how I know with your channel, I don't know if you've told this story on a live before, but have you how long have you been doing what you're doing now? I know you had your video, like your twins video many moons ago, but
Mhm. I posted hold on. Okay,
uh-huh.
I posted my very first video, um, October 31st last year, which is so weird because I do not remember that being Halloween. I don't remember that. That's so crazy.
Oh, how funny.
I'm absolutely not gonna sneeze. I'm not gonna sneeze.
It's okay.
I'm not gonna-
Let it out. Come
It's
on.
so loud. It's not cute.
It's so satisfying. Maybe
Sneezing and
not for
blowing
us,
my
but for
nose. My kids are like, "Why do you blow your nose so loud?" And I'm like, "Don't bully me. It's just how I do it." My husband's like, "If I was in an airport in a faraway land and you blew your nose across the room, I would know it was you." And I was like, "That's romantic."
it's very specific. That's
I
incredible.
was like, "So mean." So I killed him.
That's so funny.
Um, Ashley, stop being weird. Um, okay, so I did do it on October 31st. And then I did like a cute little, like, let's redecorate. And it was adorable. And I'm so excited to pull those decorations out because I think I had just gotten a few from Hobby Lobby and 14 views. And then I was like,
Sure.
and then I saw, I think it was Remy Clog, but I didn't know who she was. Like, I was not in this sphere of
Yeah. Me
cleaning
neither.
online. I had no idea that was a thing. Um,
No.
and I saw her cleaning and like I think it's one of her more popular ones to be honest. And she was just like writing down like trash. And then she'd go get all of her trash and she'd cross it off and like add something underneath. And she was like, just
Hmm.
adding a list as I feel capable. And so
Hmm.
it was really interesting to see somebody who had a very
Yeah.
destroyed, disastrous home who clearly wasn't just like some asshole who didn't clean. Like she wanted to be better. She wanted, like, I was like,
Right.
oh my God. And I looked at my nightmare landscape right in front of me and I was like, I could do this. I can do this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
um and I did and it went
And here we are.
reasonably well. And then later, like, so I started following along that because you chase what works. And she is great. And so I was doing it and it was also helping my um what is that? Is
Sorry,
that a
my dog.
puppy?
My dog.
What
Yeah,
kind
she
of
just
dog?
came in. She's a shepherd
Oh, I
mix.
love that.
She's
Oh,
yeah.
shedding dog. I grew up with shepherds,
Yes.
all the dog hair. Um and
So much.
and so I started doing it to like kind of do accountability a little bit. And then the biggest hurdle I have to overcome is how much I am just going right back to being a disaster.
Mm,
And I'm hoping within by next Halloween, I'll have it all figured out and healed. And I will be so clean and tidy. And then I can transition from I'm a nightmare to why are you a nightmare? Here's my 5 helpful tricks or
right.
something.
Right.
Um, I just
And I love that you're saying that because I'm just kind of throwing in my helpful stuff along the way as I have these revelations.
mhm.
Uh, I'm not perfect, and there is a little bit of imposter syndrome with that.
Oh, 100%.
Like it does feel scary to make here's my tip for an evening routine. Like that's my next video.
Right.
But I've now finally through this process of failing and trying and failing and trying, I have found an evening routine that actually feels really good. So now it's like, well, I want to share it. I want
Yeah.
to share it with everybody,
Oh, I
you
love that.
know. So don't wait till next October. If you find something that works, share it.
Don't tell me what to do. I'm not gonna
I'm just
say-
letting you know. I'm
no, I
sure you
love that.
found something that works for you. I hope.
I'm
I mean,
like I'm finding little things that work for me, but it's the overall. It's my all or nothing. That is what I need to fix. The
mm,
all or nothing thing.
yes, that is what you need to fix.
It's so impossible.
Stop it.
I'm trying. It's just wild how my brain goes like that. And so, obviously, not TikTok because I'm not on TikTok, but Instagram Reels has convinced
Mhm.
me that I have ADHD, also curly wavy hair. It's
Sure.
really, really convinced me that I do. I think I'm gonna try it. I bet you I have curly hair. Anyways, um, and so like looking at all the ADHD hacks, and some of them help, but then also looking at
Mhm.
vitamin D deficiency, there's a lot of women out there when I started researching it, when I discovered that my vitamin D was so low, that they're like, I thought I had ADHD. It's just that I had no vitamin D in my system. So I'm
Wow.
really interested as I'm like supplementing my vitamin D and seeing how I go, if that is going to help my whole squirrel aspect
Like you're
of my brain and the whole all
yeah,
or nothing and my extreme fatigue. I feel like we're not, I don't know, but time will pass either way. So I'm going to see if it's the vitamin D or maybe ADHD.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of things even though I'm a professional in the field in mental health, I am still learning all the time that there are lots of things that can present with ADHD symptoms, and there's something else underlying. So that
yeah.
very well could be.
Jerry says
Yeah.
sharing your imperfect knowledge and experience still helps. Thank you, Jerry. I really feel like seeing other people like us is also super helpful.
Mhm.
And it makes me feel less ashamed because as a trad wife, as a stay-at-home mom, um, like I'm clearly not doing the what everybody the ideal of it. I'm and that's
Mhm.
very shameful. Like it's shameful not to be great in your career field or even good. People have an expectation when you come to work, and I am doing none of it. I should have been fired, but I tricked Mark. I baby trapped him with three. It's not getting out of it.
Not going anywhere.
Okay, bye, Dana. Have such a beautiful day or
Oh,
rest of your weekends. I'm so thrown off because Mark was home yesterday, so it feels like Sunday to me.
I I've been saying that all week. I have no idea what day
It's
it is. 0. No
like
clue.
I based
Since, like, Wednesday. Not a
right
clue.
because like Thursday. That's such a weird holiday. Like 4th of July
Yeah,
being on a Thursday. That was just so
it
weird.
threw me off.
And then Mark
Yeah.
took Friday off, and so I'm like, I have no idea. He's been home for so long. What's gonna happen? Like,
Go back.
right? I'm
Time
like,
to
go
go.
back to work. Um, but and then when he goes to work, I'm like, hey, you should come home and we can hang out. Like, want to hang out with me? And I'll ignore you. We can sit on the couch next to each other and look through our
Yeah.
phones, and it will be so fun.
The ultimate bonding
It's so
in 2024.
like he used to play video games sitting on the couch, and that felt
Mhm.
like we were spending time together, but then he started playing video games on the computer, and I'm like, absolutely no. That's how long have you been playing video games over there 10 feet from me? Like, get back over on the couch and play video games here. It feels different. It
Yeah.
does.
Ay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So with your channel moving forward, like
Yes.
where do you want to be? Where do you think you're gonna go with this?
That is a great question.
I know that I didn't tell you about
I
it, so
know
you haven't been
you
able to think on it.
no, well, you and I have talked about it offline a little bit, and it's tough because, like you said a little bit earlier, you kind of are trying to chase what works,
Yeah.
right? So if you have success with a clean everything in an hour video, then
Yes.
that's sort of what you want to keep doing because you're hoping that finds traction. But I don't really want to I don't really want to clean all the time. I don't really want to be decluttering for the rest of my life. My hope is kind of like what you said, that once I have some things sort of under my belt and that they're continuing to stay
Right.
clean and I'm finding success through whatever strange methods my brain comes up with, that yeah, that I can just keep helping that or sharing that and sharing those things with people. And then also I'm also like on a weight loss journey as well, as most people seem to be these days. And I've found some really interesting channels. Like this one, there's a channel called Half of Carla. She's from Ireland, and she has been super inspirational lately to me. Like she's been just sharing, just sitting down, talking to the camera, just genuinely sharing what her thought process has been around certain things and what she's learned. So that's kind of where I would like to get to is just sharing things that I've learned.
Right? I love that.
Yeah,
Half of Carla, is that what you said?
half of Carla. Yeah,
I'm
because
gonna
she lost
try
more than half of her body weight.
I love that. Yeah, because I lost like 17 pounds last year, and I'm like 18
Good
pounds
job.
up right now. That really hurt my feelings.
But still good job last year. Good job.
I worked so
That's impressive.
hard. And I'm so mad at myself. But that's fine. But like that was actually part of what made me start YouTube was
Yeah.
I worked really hard and failed so many times. Have you heard of 75 hard or hard
Yes.
75?
Yes.
75 hard. Okay. So I
Mhm.
started it right after my birthday, which is March 24th. Thanks for saying it. Bethany, hi babe. Oh, you did almost miss it. How dare you? Um,
We're still here.
we're still here.
Feral, all feral.
Okay. I came up with that name and Bethany's trying to steal it. Um, so I started right after my birthday and I finished actually achieving hard 75 I think in September. Like, so the
Wow.
second you fail any aspect of hard 75, you failed,
Gotta start
you have to
over.
start over. And often I would start over the next day, or sometimes I take a little bit of a break. But like, I had a streak of like 54 days in there. And then just I kept failing and trying.
Ugh,
And, but the thing was, is that those starts counted. Like those
mhm.
tries just kept moving me forward to a better, greater thing. I was getting healthier. Like my heart rate was improving. My weight, like my waist was shrinking, which isn't this huge thing, except for the fact that visceral fat is the fat that kills you. And my
Yes.
waist, like,
That's where all of mine
that's
is.
where all of mine is too. And they're like, that's like the most unhealthy, most terrifying fat. And like, they're like, if your waist is super big compared to the rest of you, that's metabolic syndrome and like terrifying. And so
Right.
all of those failures, I was starting from such a better place, even though I was restarting. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
I'm trying to hold that in my heart while I'm going through my whole journey here with my house cleaning.
Mhm.
But it's so hard because now I'm doing it publicly.
Right.
Um, and that's
And
hard. Okay, Maria, she says hello from Spain. Hi, Maria. Don't know what that last word is. Crystal
oh,
says,
she says she doesn't speak English. She's sorry.
um, oh, that's okay, hon. You don't, I cannot speak Spanish any longer, but if you could say it to me, I'd understand you mostly. Um, when I start speaking Spanish, it comes out in Chinese, and then I just sound like an insane person. Like my brain's like, you know, the one language. Stop it. Okay, Crystal says, well, content, I always think you build it, they will come. So with content, I always think you build it, they will come. Making the content you like to make will attract the community that's working for you. I
Yeah.
really think so. I really deeply love my community and the friends that I have and the legit like it's actual friendship and I love that. Like
Mhm.
I have people that I talk to. Um especially I haven't seen her in a while so I hope she's left, but especially Nikki. Like when I first started posting, you know how they say build one person in your brain and like think everything out like okay my person is Jessica and she's 38 and she's got 2 kids and blah 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 and like you build out this
Right.
character and that's who you're targeting. And so Nikki popped up very very early on with a comment and then like I would get so freaking excited. I would run from my room to go find my husband and be like, "She wrote me. She said it." And like I'd read it, like I'd reread it, and like I'd write her
Oh,
and if I posted a video, I'd wait cuz like she was out there and she had once wrote like, "Oh my god, you uploaded again." And I was like, "Oh my god, you care. You
yes.
cared. You cared enough to be
That's great.
excited." And so then I made her friend me on Instagram and then I made her give me her phone number and then I made her text me and it was really amazing. And now she's my
That's
friend
awesome.
despite
Oh,
her resistance. So And, oh god, she's here. Um,
She does love me.
I didn't know you were here. Welcome. So I do. And so then we have like a Discord where there's a bunch of us, and I completely never check in until like right late at night. And I'm like, hey guys, I hope your day was great. But I really do love that I have friends out there, and like that it's building a community. And I get
Yeah.
we got some struggles in my comment section too, but we have a lot of really happy, positive people in my comments section as
That
well.
I'm so glad you said that because I had a thought about that and then it disappeared, but now it's back. So, I wanted to ask you, how because a lot of your videos are sort of like picking up the pieces again with
Yeah.
something that you've
Yep.
with something that you've already attacked, right? So, how does that go in your comment section for you? Like, have you had any negativity? I'm
Oh,
hoping not.
I have incredible amounts of negativity in my comments. I have
Oh,
so much negativity. Um,
that breaks my heart.
oh, it's it's a lot. Like Nikki even comments, she's like, "Man,
Feet people, yeah.
you got some mean people in your comments." So her husband is a YouTuber as well, and she's like,
Okay.
"His comment section is not your comment section." I'm like, "Well, so I've gone into his comment section to leave mean comments. I just want to share the experience."
You gotta spread it around, yeah.
I think Crystal says you can stalk her and stalk your subs. That's what I do. Um, yes. So there are people who will, because you can click on somebody's name and see the other comments that they've left. So sometimes,
Right,
um, most often I approach it from a really kind place. Like I would assume kinder intent on almost all comments. Um, and I will often respond that way. And then
right.
sometimes I get like in a bitch mood and I'm like, how about this? And so like, and I can pull up comments and I
Right,
can see, I'm like, man, you are powering through every video so you can leave a mean comments on all of it. Like, yeah,
right. Like, you had a bad day
you are
there.
just grumpy. And so one of
Right.
the downsides is my really popular video. It's got like 170,000 views right now. It's
Woohoo!
woo! It's a compilation over 3 days of me trying to clean my house, and I genuinely thought when I started filming it, 1 day clean. It was just gonna be a 1 day clean like all of my cleans usually are, and I didn't get it done the first day. I had somewhere to be. And so then it's the second day, so I kind of have to pick up where I went, and then my kids were really struggling with concepts in school, so then it kind of wasn't that day anymore. And then the third day, I'm still trying to clean my house. And I get,
As is life,
as is life,
right?
like I'm just living life on tape. And as I get to the very end of that filming, I look at my smartwatch because my husband had texted me earlier. He had been going through a lot of health issues. And he had texted me earlier, like, don't feel good. And I was like, could you describe that to me more so I can relay it to doctors if need be? Like, sarcastically and stuff, where I was like, I would like
Right.
more information. What does that mean? And so he's like, headache, I'm getting dizzy again. I just don't feel great. I'm going to eat some food. And I was like, great. And then I film on my phone. So I'm not looking at my
Oh, no.
phone.
Yeah.
And so the next thing I know, I see and I recognize his coworker's name. And like he and I don't chat. So I knew it. And the end of it really is me running to my phone so that I can answer so he can tell me they're taking him to the hospital. And so
Ugh,
we go, and it's really scary. And we still didn't have great answers. And I'm tired. And we were there so long trying to say, was it a stroke? Was it a heart attack? He was breathing so much that they gave him medication that stopped his breathing. But the nurse believed me, but the doctor wouldn't. And he's like, it's fine. I was like, he's literally, it's not. And Mark told me later, he's like, I knew. Like my brain was like, I haven't breathed in a while. And he's like, he couldn't bother to care enough to try. Like, he was just so depressed. I can't remember what it was, or
wow.
something, and he was just, like, not choosing to breathe, and so it was really scary, and it was late, and, luckily, I'd spent 3 days trying to clean my home, so when I had somebody come over to my house to watch my kids while we were in the
Right?
hospital, it wasn't wasn't what we've seen. And so I just filmed that last of it, and it's not my house not being clean. I was like, guess what, guys? 3 days looks like this. Have a good day. And
Mm.
my voiceover is the day after that happened. And I'm like super, I think I'm being very funny. I'm a very sarcastic. I love dark humor. I think I'm being funny, but man, my delivery had to have been off because so many people in there are like, how dare you be so ungrateful for what you have? Why are you so mean to yourself? Why do you wash your dishes before you put them in the dishwasher? Um, and so it was just like a lot. And there was this one woman who was like, I cannot believe you were so unappreciative. And like, she wrote this very long, very angry thing. And I was like, at first, I was like, first of all, bitch. And then I was like, you know what?
Right.
Hold on.
Wait a minute. This
And I
isn't
was like,
about me.
I was like, I am very grateful for the life I have. I am so sorry my husband was sick. I came out from being at the hospital. I did this voiceover. I am clearly so much more impacted by what had happened the night before than I thought. Trust me, I'm not this negative. I deeply love myself. I don't think people can do YouTube with the kind of comment section I have without like being super narcissistic and loving themselves too much. Um, and I was like, trust me,
I think there's probably some truth
I'm
to that.
so I love myself so deeply. And like I sent it off, like, but it was kind. And I was like, listen, I just want you to know. And she's like, wrote back almost immediately, like, thank God you wrote back. I was sick all night thinking about the comments I left. She's like, but she didn't want to delete it in case I wrote back. She's like,
Hmm.
my husband had died. I was feeling so angry for myself. And I just
Mm.
wanted to spread my pain to you.
Get
And
it out. Yep.
I was like, "Oh my god,
Fair.
I'm so glad I took that comment with kindness and grace because
Yeah.
she was hurting, she was sad, and she saw somebody being ungrateful for something that she deeply wished she still had, and I totally get that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I responded in grace, and then there are some where I'm like recently there was one and she was just like, finding not it since I wasn't replying to her directly, Ashley, I don't know if she's still in here. Ashley and I were joking in my comment section. And so she went to find out like comments under there because she saw that I was engaging with Ashley. Like, stop spreading your like venomous crap everywhere. So I left her a very unkind comment. And I haven't seen her since. And then somebody else was like, "Oh, you're such a vile, disgusting human." Under the mean one, I was like, "Oh no, can you still be my best friend?" Like, so yeah, like it,
It is, yeah. I haven't quite figured out how, because I get really triggered by any like judgment or
yeah,
negativity, which is hilarious because obviously I'm like putting myself out there on
yes,
the internet for the world to see. Like, of course, people are going to have opinions, but I haven't quite decided how to handle some of them. Like some comments, I honestly just delete. I just delete them. I don't want to see them anymore.
I have,
And then some of them, I'm like, do I don't know. Like I get a lot because I throw a lot of stuff away. People cannot stand it when you throw perfectly good things away. I throw a lot of food away.
yeah,
I have not figured out how to grocery shop yet.
yep,
I'm 40 years old. Somebody help. Uh, so that's a problem. And then sometimes I just don't have the energy and the wherewithal to donate
yeah,
things. I just don't. And I throw them away, and people cannot handle that. And
right,
so I don't really know how to respond.
right,
It's like,
um,
this is just me. I don't know. If you want it, you can come over, grab it. I don't know.
right. Oh, Nikki, by the way, Nikki gets into my comments and she is very mean on my behalf as
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
Um, so because sometimes I'll screenshot and I'll send it to her and I'll be like,
what is
"Oh my
this?
god." Um, so with the
How
throwing
dare I throw
away,
things?
like the waste of it all, how dare you throw things, right? Like um I have to sometimes. Like, also, a lot of the times, Goodwill doesn't want your crap. Like, they want to throw it
Right. Like, what are they
away.
going to do with it?
Like, they just sell it for profit anyways. Like a big profit. They underpay their people. It's a big deal. Um, but like that part really bothers me. And I hate it when people are like, you have too much stuff, get rid of it all. And I'm like, but I don't want to be minimalist. That is not who
That's
I
right.
am. I think people should be allowed to have things. I
Right.
love my memories are attached to my things. That's how I am as a person. Like I
Oh, you're not gonna like one of my next videos.
uh, like I remember like I love my things cuz I remember exactly just it brings back all of it and I love that so much. And I feel like it's okay to not be a minimalist and
Yes.
people
Yes,
really
it
hate
is.
that. But okay, kind of on topic, but not. Okay, so people get mad at you throwing things away. People get really mad at me washing my dishes before I put them in the dishwasher because I'm wasting
How dare you?
water. And in one of my
Oh,
comments, like I'm having an argument in my head, and I mentioned it, like I'm arguing with the people in my comment section, like, am I really the cause of global warming? Or like could like when
right.
Taylor Swift stops flying her private jet everywhere, like then we can
Right.
have a conversation. And I said that in there, and then like I got the meanest comments of like, I did like your channel, but unsubscribe because you viciously attacked somebody who didn't deserve it. And I watched my video again because I was like, did I just like go after someone? And then I was like, is it Taylor Swift? Like, are you mad on Taylor's behalf?
Right.
It's gonna
Travis
be
Kelce's
okay.
in your comments.
Like
Like,
that's
"Can
the meanest thing that somebody's ever said to Taylor Swift.
leave my girl alone."
She's like, dear diary, feral trad wife said something mean about my private jet. Like, she's fine.
Yeah, she'll be okay.
Washes dishes girl. Thank you, Leslie. It's true. Um, but yeah, it just and then I do have a lot of unique viewership who submit requests. And one recently was like, it was so funny because like I could tell what it was about wearing rubber gloves and the squeaking noises
Mhm.
of it. Okay, so the reason why I
Mm.
feel like I can pick them out so much is because forever ago there was like a weird kinks documentary on like the History Channel or something. I don't remember, but I remember like
I
being
feel like you
young.
and I probably
I was
watched
young
all
enough
of the same
where
documentary.
I was like this whole new world where I was like, oh my god. Like
Ooh.
I was thrilled to find out that adults did adult things in the first place. And then there's weird like subcategories. Okay.
Right,
And
right.
so I remember I don't know why. Anyways, so like it was this phone worker. Remember that we used to have phone lines because the internet didn't exist? And she would talk
Yep.
about specific things like it's not so much what you would think when people called into her line. Sometimes it was like, could you inflate latex balloons and squish them? Could you pop them? Could you do this? And she's like, it's a lot more auditory than you think. So somebody was
Hmm.
like, could you um wear your rubber gloves, which I do some when cleaning the toilet, and they're like, and make it squeak, and then have like an ASMR video and like really squeak the gloves next to the microphone. I was like, okay, first of all, the first comment kind of got on board with, but no, I'm not going to adjust my entire content. Like, why don't you just search it out, dude? You know that there are channels
Right.
out there, but
Or pay somebody to do it for like whatever.
right?
Whatever you gotta do.
It's just there's a lot of
That's
unique
funny.
requests, and I did not expect requests to be honest. And sometimes I'm like, am I just really have a inflated ego, or was that a weird thing, or am I just full of myself? Like I waffle back.
No, I think that was a weird thing. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So yes, I get a lot of mean comments, but I have a lot of really amazing comments too, and a lot of beautiful people who I love. And
Oh.
Jerry, yes, Taylor fans are very serious, and man, they come out of the woodwork.
Yes. Yeah. You can't say anything about that,
Now I
but
know what to not make a joke about. So I'm guessing you really haven't experienced a lot of negativity.
not a ton yet, but with success comes critique. So hopefully I'll get more.
Right?
I'll get more negativity soon.
If you don't, I'll just open up a new
once I
channel.
once
I'll
I
do
blow
it
up.
under an alias. I can bully you under an alias, and then you can process those feelings. Anything for
No.
friendship,
Oh,
right? It's Crystal,
Crystal says no kink shaming.
right? It's
Nope,
just
nope.
like
Everybody do your
so
thing.
weird to
Enjoy your life.
go to a specific channel, like going to a gaming channel and being like, to be honest, I wish you were gardening. Could you go out and garden? Like,
Right.
there's
No, thank
so
you.
many different ways to find what it is you're looking for, my love. Uh,
Right.
so yeah. All right,
Wild
comments,
times.
comments. Do y'all have any questions that we want to ask Meg or me or each other? Do you guys want to ignore us and talk amongst yourselves?
Just chit chat.
I bought a new chair. It's not this one.
Mm,
And I was gonna like have this whole cute little setup, and it got delivered 5 seconds before the live started. I was like, oh, close. So close.
no.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I ran into this, well, you know, but they don't know about with 2 minutes to spare trying to get my daughter to fall asleep. I was like, "Okay, I have to ninja roll away," and
I
yeah.
do miss and I don't miss those times. I didn't miss them when they were happening. I was like, it's so time consuming, especially at bedtime when you really only have those precious mom moments and you have to stay awake because like you haven't had any time to yourself that you're not being touched. And then a little sad when, my son started really falling asleep by himself, whereas he used to come in and be like, "Can I sleep in your bed?" And I'd be like, "No."
Oh,
And so, but now he doesn't ask. And
he's fine.
aw.
Oh,
Jerry
yeah.
asked, "Do you plan your content?"
I plan it maybe a week in advance, if I'm being honest. Sometimes, like, I have a couple of videos coming up that are, like, 30-day challenges. I've decided to do 30-day challenges, but film them after I've already succeeded.
I kind of thought of that today. I was like, maybe I should only do it once I'm successful, but like I did
Yes,
one. Um,
yes.
yeah.
So that kind of thing I try to plan in advance, and I have a bunch of ideas, but, I kind of go on the fly. How about you?
I planned out all of July and not that.
Wow.
I planned when to film, when to edit, when to upload, and I have completely abandoned it. And I love that for me.
Perfect.
Um,
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
I just
But you have a vision. You have a
I have a
vision.
vision.
That's it.
And so what it is, which sucks, is like, okay, I wanted to do a like clean the upstairs playroom, which I ignore. It doesn't exist, and I love that for me.
Mhm.
But I just
I love
got it.
that
I
for you.
got up and I set it to like the corner. Okay, I was like, okay, self, you're going to do it around the. We're going to be like, okay, here's the process. We're going to go starting from right and go all the
Forever.
way left, right? Forever. Thanks, Crystal. Um, and so I do like the corner, and I was like, no, I physically felt terrible. And so I was like, okay, I'll do it later. And so I go downstairs. The next day, I get like that far, and I don't have it in me to do that big thing. And I think I'm going to try again, and I'm going to go up there, and I'm just going to do like whatever floats my boat, like cleaning, where I'm like, okay, kind of feel like cleaning this part now. Now I'll move to this part. I think the structure of it was making it hard to be motivated.
Mm.
And I was going to change my clothes to where they matched every time so that you guys would think that it was the same. I have to
That's
go back to
that
the
is
footage and be
dedication.
like, what was I wearing? Let's put that on again.
Just
Um,
you know what? Maybe that's your next 30-day challenge. Clean this room
exactly.
in
And it's
30
so funny because like
days.
I love the idea of tricking everybody, but I know me during the editing, I'll be like, guess what? I wore this outfit 3 days in a row, idiots. Like I'm just I can't. I want to trick people, but I am way too
Just live your authentic life,
really it's
girl.
not authenticity. I think it's just I like to sell myself out every single time. I throw myself under the bus so fast. There
Yeah.
should be 30 hours in it. There should be. And I should be given motivation for at least 25 of them. Although I have to
Right.
say, so my getting the vitamin D deficiency results made me so happy to be like
Mhm.
having a reason why I was the way I was, like how lethargic I am and everything like that. And like the dream exhaustion that would hit me. And I would, it was an optional nap. It was a nap was happening, better not be
Yeah.
driving kind of thing. And so on my third dose of really, really, really high dose vitamin D. Plus, I got the vitamin D
Mhm.
shot. And last week, I did nap most of the days. However, I'm not drinking like 6 cups of coffee trying to force myself through it, you know? And like, I'm not
Right.
feeling the the huge exhaustion. I'm excited to see if my levels are actually coming up. But I kind of backed off and I was allowing myself a little bit of grace because Nikki said, she goes,
Darn
if it
Mickey.
was your husband or your kid, you would agree that, like, you'd be like, heal yourself, feel better, you're sick, like, let me help you. And then I was like, okay, maybe I should allow myself that grace. Oh my God. And then somebody, I cannot remember her name right now, but in the comment section, because I had mentioned that in one of my videos, in the comment section, she's like, I was, I don't know, resurfacing her kitchen floor. She was doing something crazy big and she felt a pop and felt horrible. I was like, "No, I'm fine. This is good." And was like, completed the project. And her husband's like, "You look really wretched." And so he talked her into going to the hospital, but they had to take their very young kids. And then he's like, "Let me get you a wheelchair." She's like, "No, it'll scare the kids." And like, so she didn't want them to get scared and like walked herself in. And she had had an ectopic pregnancy burst and was bleeding internally for a
Oh
while.
my.
And she was like, I just didn't want to be a baby about it and didn't want to scare my kids. I was like, that's way worse than my vitamin
Women
C
are
story.
wild.
Like, so I kicked her out of my chat and banned her because I don't like being one up.
Note to self, do not one up.
So, Helen, thanks, Beth. Watching you clean motivates me to clean my home. I love that, Helen. It makes me so happy.
That's awesome.
Um, and then I watch Jerry. I want to ask you something, and you don't have to answer. I was wondering if you are Canada or America because I was watching some of your driving, and I was like, that looks very Midwest Northern Plains, but I don't want you to like I swear you said you were from Toronto. I don't remember. But I need you to tell me where you live exactly. Like put your address in the comments so I can Google zoom it. Like a creeper. Canada. Okay, so that's what I thought. But like it gave me such a yearning for North Dakota when I was watching you.
Hmm.
I just did. I miss it. I want to go back. I I love North Dakota. Southern Alberta. That's middle, right? They don't teach you we
No.
like pretend Canada
I,
back to more stalking. I love stalking, Crystal. It's so
right. Watch
fun.
out, Jerry.
Like if I don't know exactly where she lives, how am I gonna check her weather when I wake up in the morning and be like, oh man, Jerry's got Jerry's got some snow heading her way. I guess I could just assume she's got snow heading her way, but
Just in general. Yeah.
in general. Um,
It's always snow. But yeah.
I love being
No, they don't teach us.
they
They don't teach
don't.
us in school about any other country at all.
I,
I have no idea where anything is.
I remember learning how to spell Saskatchewan, and it was like this immense amount of pride. I was like in 4th grade. It wasn't even an achievement by the age I was, but I was like, "Look, not only do I know it exists, I can spell it." Out here in the prairies next to the Rocky Mountains. Okay, yeah,
Right.
so, it's more westerly and basically can snow all year, right? Um, I I deeply miss snow, and I miss
Mm.
bugs being small. The bugs here are not small. They're so big, like the cockroach that I saw the other day, like
I could never. I can't do the South. I am a big Disney fan. I've always wanted to go to Disney World, but like the idea of Florida in general just is scary to me. Anything south is scary
it's
to
so
me
scary. I
because of the bugs
genuinely
and the
thought
gators.
I was so worried about gators. I'm still pretty worried, but I honestly thought like I would wake up and be like, "Oh, I have to run to the store." And I'd open my door and like there'd be this massive gator between me and
Just
the
with his
car.
mouth open.
And I'd be like, "Can't go to the store." I'd be like, gators in the driveway." And here people are like, "Oh, it's not that big." Like nobody will come remove a gator from your property unless it's like bigger than 3 feet because they're like, it's not that big. Don't worry about it.
It'll move on.
And in my neighborhood, we have lots of ponds, lots of stuff, and constantly people are like, "Gator in the pond." Like this pond next to this house just saw it. Just don't put your pets or your kids in it. And like everybody ignores it. And if it bothers enough people, like eventually a dad goes and gets it. Like, oh, don't worry, my husband pulled it out of the pond.
And then does what? What does he do? Where do you
I
put
think it
the
just
gator?
like
Where do you what
the
happens?
next housing development, you just move it, throw it in their
You
pond.
just
They can deal with it until it gets bigger.
their turn.
Like
Right. The gator just moves around.
it's so weird. I'm like, what? And there was this one guy who kept being like, "There's one behind," and he kept saying my address and the pond behind, and I was like, "What? There's no pond behind my house. You say that every single time somebody says something about a gator. You say it's my in the pond behind my house. There, what are you thinking of, sir?" And I think he just does it to like drive me crazy, and it works every single time. I'm like,
He probably enjoys your
right?
reaction.
I'm like, dude, there's no pond. Stop it. But is there a pond? Because I need to know.
Well, now there is.
There's a there's a canal, and everybody's like, one of the selling points, which I don't think it should be a selling point, but they were like, the slaves dug out this canal. And I was like,
That's
history, love
unsettling.
it. And they're like, yes. And then and they really hyped up how the slaves dug out this canal. And like I Wikipedia'd it and I was like, it doesn't really seem like that was accurate unless we still had slaves deep into like the 1930s, maybe.
Hopefully not.
Who knows? But like I just it was so weird. And it's a historical landmark apparently. So I don't know. I need to look into it more. But man, they were just really hyping that up as a feature. So that's nice, I suppose.
Yeah. Another reason the South scares me.
Our historical canals. We do live
Historical canals.
we live
We don't
really
have them
close
here.
to a plantation. Really close. So like probably this land was plantation land. Um And it was weird. It was a rice plantation, which I, for some reason, didn't think they had on the East Coast, but like is
Hmm.
a big enough deal that they would have these massive ornate beds with rice engravings as decor, being like, this
Oh.
is our rice bed. And I found that to be really, really weird. Rabbit hole. Sorry. I know, right? Like I need to investigate this more. Um, I like knowing about like where we are and everything like that. And just we I don't know, it's interesting to me, but also very bizarre because 'cause you're just like, "Oh, okay, but, like, are we casual about the plantations? Like, are we what do we do? Do we mention them? Do we not mention them? Like, how does everybody feel about this situation?" And so, and then, "Hi, Jeanette from Puerto Rico. Hey, how are you after the hurricane? I'm pretty sure that I'm thinking of the Dominican Republic. My mistake, sorry, love. Geography's hard.
You know too many people in too many places you check on their weather.
I do. Like I know that that whole hurricane went through down there, but I don't think it got close enough to Puerto Rico and I was actually thinking of a different place. Jerry says no cockroaches here, thanks goodness. And oh my word, alligators are terrifying. Um, but yeah, they kind of mind their own business to be honest. Like I thought they would impact my life
Just step
more,
over them.
right? Just for the most part, you're like, I guess kids don't put your hands in the ponds and Crystal, you'll be driving me crazy. It's constant, and I bet there is a gator in the canal back there, um, but I'm not putting my foot in there, so and I keep my dogs away from it. Um, okay, that was a weird tangent,
That was a tangent.
sorry,
That's okay. That's what talking is for,
right?
right?
I just
Just chatting.
yep. Tell me something weird about where you live.
What you know, well, so I'm in Illinois and we were supposed to get like a mass of cicadas and I haven't seen one. I haven't seen any. We were supposed to well, that's not true. We went to a park and I saw a bunch of carcasses, but other than that, we didn't hear them.
Your
We didn't
trees
see
aren't
them.
screaming?
My trees aren't screaming. Fun fact, when I was 14 years old, I'm from California
What
originally.
area in
When I
California?
was from Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first time I visited the Midwest, I was 14 and I went to Nebraska to visit some family that my grandpa had and I didn't know about cicadas. I had no idea, no concept of them and I was like, "Huh, Nebraska has trees that make noise. That's so interesting." Like I just thought it was the trees. So,
Yeah,
I felt a little stupid, but
it's so loud here. We have the screamingest of trees right now. I didn't think that they were so far north, to be honest.
it was a whole thing. The Chicago Tribune was like, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna have all the cicadas and that." I was
Yeah,
like,
it's supposed to be like
"Okay, I
a
know."
double batch, and that only happens.
Yeah.
I follow a mom on. very, very, very popular. And her thing is actually very actually very crunchy. She's on
Uh,
Instagram. I
yeah, yeah.
believe she pops. Have you seen her?
I think so.
She's so funny. But she was doing a whole thing about the cicadas and stuff like that. And that's how I found out that there was supposed to be a double batch. In Nebraska, you can hear the corn crow. Is that true? Or is that just like a horror movie thing that you're saying, Leslie? Um, and I love Nebraska. I was so excited to go through it. It made me deeply happy. And I think I spent the night next to a cornfield where like they trained police dogs.
Oh,
It was really interesting.
Nebraska is cool. I
Rose, you were
like it.
born and raised in Nebraska. I love that. Are you still there, or did you flee to outer country? I would live in Nebraska. I would do that. Maybe.
Maybe.
It would
I
be
don't know.
nice.
I never.
It'd be so central. You could travel anywhere within a few days
That is true.
if you drove.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh. Okay. Closing thoughts. You're in Colorado now? I love Colorado. Where in Colorado? And honestly,
Oh, that's
where?
beautiful.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna drive to Nebraska. I'm gonna park in a cornfield and I'm going to listen for that right now. Not right now, like in 2 weeks, maybe.
Soon.
When the gas prices come down, that's when I'm gonna do it. Um, also, why are cornfields the scariest possible crop ever? Not just children of the corn, but like that's where the murderers hide. I know it.
Yeah. I don't like here a big popular thing is corn mazes like in the fall and for like Halloween
That's how
time.
you die.
I don't yeah, I don't like to go in the corn maze at all.
Yeah, no, they're terrifying. And like the last time I was in there, people were throwing corn, like just lobbing, and I got hit by a piece of
Yeah.
corn. That hurt my feelings.
Ouch.
It really did
No.
hurt. It really did hurt. 30 minutes from Denver. I love that. Crystal
Uh,
says, how often does Meg upload and does she have a video schedule?
so I have been uploading at least once a week, every single week. I have not missed a week yet, knock on wood. So good job to me. I like to tell myself good job because nobody else does. And and then also I typically upload on Thursdays. This past week I uploaded on a Monday, but those are the two options.
I love that. And
Yeah, thank you for asking.
I love the once a week. Like I kind of feel like I should do that to get a buffer. And I hate having buffers though. I hate feeling distant from
Waiting.
people and like not seeing. I suppose if I uploaded, I would still
Thank you,
see
Crystal.
them in their comment section. Crystal's so sweet.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel the same way. I had a video, like, once it's done and ready to go, I'm like you. I'm
Oh
like,
my
"Okay,
god,
let's
I want
get it
to.
out." Yeah, get it out there. I want feedback. I wanna talk to
I
people.
love. Yes, it's so hard not to, especially like if I'm late on the upload and like I'm editing that morning. I'm like the second it lets me post, it's like we still haven't checked your stuff. Like, are you sure? And I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
upload immediately. I want to see it. And one time I did a premiere upload and I did not like it because it messed with all of my back end analytics, and I
Oh,
hated how that happened. So I love talking to people live during the upload, but it just made everything wonky for me, and I didn't appreciate that. So
yeah.
okay, it has been an hour
Oh,
and a
it's been a
half.
while.
So well,
Good
it
job.
hasn't been an hour and a half because I'm not great at math, but it's been like an hour and 20 minutes.
That's
So
pretty close.
what is something that you really wish you were able to tell us, but I didn't think to ask?
Mm, I don't know. That's a really big question. I don't know. I don't I hate to yeah, I don't want silence.
You can have silence. Nobody cares about silence.
Alright.
Have you
I
seen my
don't know. I
hair?
guess
Everybody's just looking at my hair. Go ahead and take a moment to think.
it's gorgeous.
I'm so. It's really hot in here.
Yeah. I know, I think just I
Yes, thank you, Crystal. Everybody, do go over to Meg's and sub.
thank you. Thank you very much. Crystal, you
Meg.
are awesome, by the way. Thank you for just asking questions and all of that. I really appreciate it. And you Beth, you have awesome people.
I have
I'm
awesome
really
people.
impressed with your
I am
people.
so
I love
lucky.
it.
It's crazy how amazing everyone is and how much I love them. Um,
Yes, and but I think I have found, are very just easy to get along with, easy to chat with. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I love
I
it.
appreciate that.
Feel honored that you bother me, and
Right? I had to email you 3 times to respond, and I was like, "Meg hates me, but that's fine. I'll just bully her in her comment section. That's fine."
yeah, no, it's fun. But I think, yeah, anything to know about my videos and stuff. I ramble a lot, but I think it's okay. I think it's good to watch my videos while you're doing something of your own. Uh, or if you're just on the potty or in bed, that's fine too. But
Did you ask your audience what if they do that or not?
I haven't. I saw that you asked. What did you find out?
Everybody they watch. People are
They
watching.
just
I'm not
watch. They just
background
sit
noise.
down and watch.
I thought it was I love a good ramble. Thank you, Crystal. Kala's gonna go watch Meg's videos after this. Good, and then
Thank
go to
you.
sleep at a reasonable time. Especially since you have to like keep your strength and recover.
Oh,
So both of you ruined my train of thought. All three of you ruined my train of thought. What was I going to say? Yes. Okay. So I threw up the poll. I thought I was just background noise for people, like the motivation of cleaning and like just listening. And
mhm.
shockingly, people are watching and not so much multitasking. And I feel like you should ask your people too, because you'll be surprised how many people are really watching you and focusing on you.
Well, I just might do that.
So
I just might do that.
okay.
I mean, we have to pay close attention to your videos because you throw in these little zingers every once in a while. So you gotta pay attention or you'll miss them.
It's very much a train of thought when I'm watching it. I'm watching back like, "Oh, I I like, I can't believe people listen to my nonsense as often as they do. It's just nonsense."
It's gold. We love it.
Okay, tell me the thing you love most about yourself before we leave. I want you to say something
Oh
super
gosh.
positive that you love about yourself.
Hmm. You know what? I think I am very resilient and I am willing to keep trying despite, as we've talked about, despite failure or things having not gone well on previous attempts. Um, and I think that's a good trait. I think it's easy. I think it's easy to give up
I think that's
and
really
just say,
great.
like, yeah, yeah.
I love that.
So,
I'm so proud of you for being
yeah.
able to come up with something.
Now I'm going to ask you.
Oh, I do think that I've said this before and it's weird that it kind of ties in. I am really good at forcing a community out of wherever I am. I'm like,
Hmm.
because I just
Well, it's
make people be
necessary for
my
you.
friends. And I'm like, I, when the twins were initially diagnosed in North Dakota, I tried to find a autism group to figure out what my life was going to look like. And there was a much
Hmm.
older, aged out group with like mostly teens. And of course, my girls are too. And those are two widely different experiences. And not only that, but you're as parents, you're in a very different part of
Right.
your journey
Mindset.
yourself. And
Mhm.
so I would just find people so terrible. I'd find people who had weird kids at the therapy waiting room, and I'd be like, "Your weird kid is like my weird kid. Does your kid have autism?" And they'd be like, yes." I'm like, "Now we're besties. Give me your phone number." And so, like,
That's incredible.
I got this core of like 5 moms, and we all had the same age kids, almost at the same severity levels, which was really, really intense. We had extraordinarily severe kids. None of our kids were verbal or functional. Like it was a nightmare. And then what we would do is we would find moms who had just been like hinted, they're like, your kid, maybe. And we would find them
Mhm.
and then just be like, this sucks terrible, but we know how much you love your kid. And let's just be miserable
Oh,
together. Like, it's fine that you hate
yeah.
this. Let us be with
Right,
you. And because so many people try to just shove sunshine up your butt about it and like,
right, and pretend like, you're not supposed to be upset
yeah,
about it.
and to be
Yeah.
told that you can be really dark and angry and that's fine. It doesn't mean you don't love your kids. So we would do that. And I loved that in my community. And so I really felt like I could force people to be my community with messy houses. And it's working.
And look at you now. That's incredible. I love that. I love that.
Christy's Crystal, not Christy. Crystal said it's an easy train to derail. Rude. Leslie, nope, I watch and then I think about doing something. Same. And Nikki says, I'm so glad you could join her Meg to confirm that she's crazy. Also rude. So bullying is our love language, and that's how it
Oh,
goes. Okay, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had so much fun.
I had fun too, but now my daughter's screaming, so this is perfect
Yes,
timing.
go get
So,
her. Okay, bye everybody. I love you so much. Thank you for hanging out
bye.
with us
Thank you so
today.
much.
And
Thanks
I
for
will
having me.
text you guys obsessively. Bye.
Bye.